So today I'm reviewing the Focal Trio 11s. Now these big boys that you see sitting next to me is the speaker that's been out for a few months now. It's the Trio 11. Now the smaller version of this, the other Trio, I tested before and had listened to, loved it. Ended up getting some Focals as my main speakers because of it. I wasn't ever a fan of the SM9s. I always felt that they were, in the right room, a good speaker, but in the wrong room, very bass heavy. So I wasn't that into those in the room that I had them in. But the Trios I thought were a lot more versatile, mainly because you can switch them around. So you can either have them up, or you can take this out and move that around. So the tweeter's at the top and the mid-range is in the middle. So that works really well. And then you've got the bass driver here. In this scenario, you need to have these so that, for me personally in this room, I had the tweeters on the inside so that I could hear them quite close. And I actually preferred them when I'm listening to this speaker on their side like this rather than up. So they're quite big, but as long as you've got this tweeter here on the same level as your ear, then you'll get a good sound out of them. So if you've got any speakers that are high, you might need to tilt them forwards a little bit so that you can get that angle completely correct. These weigh an absolute ton. They're big boys. They're really, solid speakers. Focal make great speakers, as you know. A lot of their stuff, super high end, really good hi-fi stuff. They do car things, they do everything. So their speakers are very, very good. Their headphones are very good, so you'd expect these to be as good. Now, I think the reason why they've made these in a bigger form is because they were so successful with the original Trios that, as I just said, were a great sounding speaker. So these bigger ones actually will give you a lot more level coming out of them. They've obviously got built-in amplifiers. There's a few little pots on the back so that you can basically dial out some low frequencies and stuff. So the way to work them really is to measure your room, put them up, measure your room a bit, play around with those with something like fuzz measure, play around with those, get them so that you can get as flat as you can, and then start working with them. They are really crystal clear in the top end. So they've got the beryllium tweeter here, like the other ones. Fortunately for me, on these ones, they've put a little cover across it so it doesn't get smashed. Because last time I had them, if you remember, I smashed the beryllium tweeter and yeah, that was expensive. Fortunately, they've got that this time, so that's not going to happen. They sound really clear in the top end. The mids are really nice. Now, if you know the beryllium tweeter, you know it goes super high. Focal speakers, you either love that tweeter or you hate that tweeter. I think it's hard to hate that tweeter personally because I think it sounds really nice and clear and smooth. So that's the kind of sound I like from it. The bass response, really big bass. There's a lot of sound coming out of here. They drive really hard and tight. So it's a very good speaker to have. It's more of a midfield speaker because of the size of it. If you want the smaller one, that's obviously near. So the size of the room will matter. But if you're working in a decent space where you've got them as your sort of main, you can have these as your sort of main monitors, and then you've got a set of near fields, I think that'd be perfect scenario. But yeah, love them. They're brilliant. They come in different finishes. This one's like a rosewood. But they do come in a load of different finishes. They're around about 5,000 a pair, which I don't think is too bad, because they are a good mid-range speaker for you. So you can drive them loud, as I said, and they do go super low with that really clear high. So worth looking at if you're looking for a set of mid-range speakers. Very heavy. Won't really go in a very small room, but if you've got a sort of mid-sized room, they'll work perfectly for you. So yeah, check them out. That's the Focal Trio 11s.